Hey gang, Nate Z here again, and wow, you guys are really lucky. I'm spoiling you with all these videos right one after the other. But I just actually had some quick thoughts I wanted to share on Cutie Remarked, the season 5 finale for My Little Pony. Um, that said, I'm going to be talking about the very end, the aftermath of the conflict. So, spoilers. If you haven't seen it by now, stop watching. And yes, I don't realize that's going to be pleasant, but I don't. Anyway. So, Kitty remarked, after all the horrible things Starlight Glimmer has done or tried to do, including, more or less wipe out all of existence, whether she meant to or not, she is immediately forgiven and welcomed as part of the group. That is probably the biggest criticism I've seen of the episode. You know, and again, in this case, not even so much the 11th hour redemption as just everybody said, she goes, "Hey, I'm a good guy now," and everybody goes, "Okay." And the scene that drives this home the most is when she returns to her town and is immediately glomped by the 5 ponies from the season premiere. And okay, let me preface this. I mean, I've gone on record in several forms of media saying that the season premiere genuinely scared me. I thought Starlight Glimmer was a genuinely terrifying villain. The fact that she was trying to strip away everyone's individuality really struck home with me, as you may have guessed, given certain hobbies and everything. Coming to accept who I am and all that has been a pretty big struggle for me almost my whole entire life. So yeah, that 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 storyline got to me, and so yeah, as someone who found Starlight Glimmer a truly terrifying villain, I'm going to say maybe it's good that it's shown everybody immediately forgives her. Now, just going off the obvious example, my roommate mentioned, there should be the lesson of actions have consequences. And yeah, I absolutely agree. But I was just thinking about this the other day, and we as a society really seem to struggle with the concept of forgiveness, of just letting things go. Just going with myself as an example, I've mentioned in my videos I'm divorced. I've mentioned in my videos I have an ex girlfriend. And, as much as I would love to tell you that if I ran into either of those women just on the street, I would be able to, just go about my day and not acknowledge existence, or at least, at most tip my head, say hi. But I really don't know if I could do that because, there's a lot of stuff I really wish I would have said to them and whatnot. And going for the broader range of as us as a society, the stereotype of, and again, I know this has happened. I've read enough news stories on it. The convict who went to, was guilty, went to jail, served their time. So in theory, their debt is paid. They should no longer have this stuff held against them. But nobody wants to hire them because they don't want to hire a convict. No one wants to rent to them. No one wants to do anything because, oh, you did horrible things. You don't deserve the job. You don't deserve anything. And a lot of times they go back to crime because they either, just have no choice, or seems like they have no choice. Or at least one story I read, the guy had cancer, and the only way he could get medical treatment was to rob a convenience store and go back to prison. That's messed up. So, the idea that we need to hammer in the idea of forgiveness really seems to make sense to me. Because if like little kid, again, we really need to keep in mind this show is intended for small children, for young children who are just learning things. Kid, kids understand Starlight Glimmer did really terrible things, but if they can see that the people she did, well, excuse me, the ponies she did horrible things to, particularly Twilight, particularly the members of her town, just let it, just immediately let it go, welcome her with open hooves, so to speak. Maybe that, could start a ripple effect, and maybe 20 years from now, when a convict serves their sentence and is truly repentant for what they've done, they can get a job. I'm not saying this will happen. I'm not saying that I'm right. It's just something I thought of and I think is worth considering. And, since people are like, oh, we need to see actions have consequences and everything, we have the Equestria Girls movies for that. I mean, that is why Rainbow Rocks is why a lot of people started to turn their opinions on those movies. But like I said, I'm not saying I am right. I don't know anything about how the human psyche works. I just know, again, just going from my own self and just how people talk and news stories and everything I read, we need to work on our ability to forgive. And if this helps the next generation, I'm willing to let go of the idea that Starlight needs to be punished. Anyway, just something to think about. See everybody later.